It's a boy, a brother for Prince William, mother and baby doing well. The proud father says, now we've almost got a polo team. The Highgrove neighbours throw a party, and Lester Piggott wins a new crown. Good evening. The Princess of Wales's new baby, born at 4:20 this afternoon, is another boy. Both are doing well. The new prince, not yet named, weighed 6 pounds 14 ounces. He has pale blue eyes and, according to his father, indeterminate colour hair. The Queen is said to be delighted. The baby was born at St Mary's Hospital in Paddington, where his brother Prince William was born. Prince Charles, who was at the birth, said he felt marvellous. Prince Charles added, now we've nearly got a polo team.
At 7:30 this morning, the Princess of Wales arrived here at St Mary's Hospital in Paddington with Prince Charles, and they were both taken upstairs to the 4th floor room where 2 years ago Prince William was born. There to meet them was Mr George Pinker, the royal gynaecologist, here to supervise this, his 9th royal birth. During her pregnancy, Mr Pinker had been taking special care of the princess, and she'd been attending antenatal classes. Immediately, it seemed, a crowd gathered, and then the world's press and television, who always seem to gather in such large numbers when a member of the royal family is celebrating something rather special. Flowers were brought in from all over the country. Little messages, little presents from people who just wanted to add their own little personal touch to this great day for the royal couple. Security was notably tight. It was discreet, but in the buildings around the hospital, and indeed in the hospital itself, members of the Royal Protection Group were keeping a special eye on the royal couple. Then we went into the period of the long wait. It was over 9 hours before we knew what had happened. There were 4 other babies born inside St Mary's before we heard at 4:20 this afternoon the Princess of Wales had delivered her second son. We then waited another hour or so before a beaming Prince Charles emerged into the lights of the television cameras and came across to talk to some of the large crowd who'd gathered outside.
Very well. Not everything couldn't have gone better. No, it was much quicker this time than last time. I had no idea, yes.
And how have you chosen the name, sir?
Sorry? They're pale blue at the moment. Sort of indeterminate colour at the moment.
Have you chosen the name, sir?
And we've nearly got a full polo team, so doing well well.
What's your reaction?
What do you think? Have you had any children?
I've got 2 and 1 on the way.
Marvellous. What was your reaction?
Fantastic. And I was there both times.
Exactly that.
Were you expecting a boy? Can you tell us now?
No, I mean, it doesn't matter what it was, as long as it was all right. And it was. That's
Everybody
the great
seems
thing.
to be so happy for you.
Well, thank you very much. I couldn't be more delighted. Very well, thank you. Marvellous. Excellent.
With Prince Charles away to spend a few moments on his own before coming back here, probably with the Queen tomorrow morning, the people who'd been waiting added their congratulations and their wishes and thoughts at this time.
Yeah. Disappointed it wasn't a girl. Sure, what can you do?
Got another one.
She probably will. Next year, maybe.
5 or 6.
Pleased with the news?
Oh, yes, thrilled to bits. Yes, lovely, isn't it? I think we all are, surely. Aren't we? It's a lovely event. Super.
Outside Buckingham Palace, many of the crowd had been waiting all day, and just before 6 o'clock, their patience was rewarded. Major Marsham of the Queen's household hung up the framed proclamation of the birth. It read, Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, was safely delivered of a son at 4:20 p.m. today. Her Royal Highness and her child are both well. After that, it was champagne all the way. The delight was obvious.
It's lovely, I'm all excited. And somebody else's champagne on me and help me along.
It was really thrilling. It's nice to be in the Buckingham Palace crowd that we see so often. It's an exciting time, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? Yes, it really is gorgeous. I wish she'd had a little girl, but still.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. All the best, Diana.
I'm incredibly happy about it. It is really lovely, isn't it? And another son, which is rather super. Yes, I think so.
Has any word yet been given on what they're likely to call the baby?
Not at all, really, truly, not at the moment. But however, we're all incredibly pleased that it was a safe delivery.
So, after all the excitement and the long wait, the news is there for all to see, posted in the traditional fashion on the gates of the palace. Sally Jones, ITN, with the crowds outside Buckingham Palace.
St Mary's. The atmosphere here is relaxed and peaceful, and the Queen has been out as usual stalking deer in the estate. She's undoubtedly delighted at the birth of her new grandson, but it's now looking very unlikely that she's going to leave Balmoral tonight to fly south. She's still expected to visit the local Crathy Church tomorrow with Prince Philip and the Queen Mother for their last Sunday service in Scotland. Anne Mackenzie for ITN at Balmoral.
After the royal family, the next to hear the news were the Princess's family, who were phoned by Prince Charles at their home near Northampton. Her father, Earl Spencer, said he hoped his new grandson would be a cricketer and steer clear of polo.
Here at Althorp House, it's been business as usual, as it's been open to the public today. The Countess Spencer has been busy in the souvenir shop, while Earl Spencer has in fact been on the telephone most of the day.
Well, it's a great relief. It's my main feeling. It's a great relief. Everything's gone all right, and they've got a lovely baby, and Diana's very well. That's what matters.
Have you spoken to London?
Yes, I have, yes. Prince Charles told me the baby had arrived, told me it was a lovely baby, and Diana's very well. That's the important thing.
Are you at all disappointed there's another boy?
No, not at all, no. I'm very glad it is a boy. Nice for someone for William to play with. Nice companion for William to play with, and someone for William to fight with.
Ladyship, have you any idea what they're going to call him?
No, not at all.
No?
Quite a secret still.
And what's your reaction to the news?
Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm very happy for my husband, and we should look forward to seeing them here playing in the nursery.
I'm told by some of the visitors to the house that you shouted the news from the balcony.
That's right, I did, yes, that's right. In the house, yes, I did.
What have you been doing today?
Waiting by the telephone.
Lovely. Well, thank you both very, very much indeed.
And I hope, as another little boy, I hope my game is cricket. I hope one day he'll play cricket for Gloucestershire, as he'll be brought up at Tetbury. I hope so.
What about Northamptonshire?
Well, he's not born here, is he?
No.
He's got his... He's living in Gloucestershire at the moment. He'll be able to play for Gloucestershire. I hope one day. I hope he'll play cricket and perhaps not so much polo.
The new baby will be third in line to the throne. Prince William is second in line after Prince Charles, and his new brother will follow him, ahead of Prince Andrew and Prince Edward.
Like his brother before him, the new prince will soon be carried out of hospital and straight into the limelight. Ahead of him, all the strangeness and the razzmatazz of being the son of the future king. As with Prince William, his parents' main concern is to give their new baby as normal an upbringing as possible. Prince Charles is even said to have changed Prince William's nappy. And both parents now have all the normal worries. For example, will William be jealous of the new baby? So although the new prince will share Prince William's nanny, Barbara Barnes, who's always there when Mummy and Daddy aren't, his parents will try and be with him as much as they can. Prince William's already a world traveller, of course. He couldn't even walk when his parents took him to Australia. And it was in New Zealand that the world discovered his family nickname, Wills. So the new prince is likely to see a lot more than just Kensington Palace before he's even walking. And if he's anything like his brother, described by his mother as a mini tornado, he'll be quite a handful as he grows up. Prince William's already got rid of several pairs of his father's shoes by throwing them down the loo. Prince William will certainly be able to show his brother how to deal with the press. He's already quite used to the idea of strange groups of grown-ups peering at him with even stranger equipment, and that he's expected to perform and show a polite interest in what they're doing. As for education, Prince Charles's old school Hill House is likely to be high on his parents' list, though they may send him to a local Montessori nursery first. And at Hill House he'd be treated just like the others, with an all-round education and lots of sport, though perhaps he'd never quite be able to forget who he is.
In part 2 of this especially extended ITN news, thousands turn out to mourn victims of South Africa riots. The Archbishop of Canterbury says picket line violence can't be justified. And the champagne is flowing tonight for the new royal baby. South Africa, 13,000 people have attended mass funerals for victims of the rioting in black townships around Johannesburg. Police sealed off Sharpeville and Everton as mourners defied a ban on political gatherings.
This was not a day for mourning. The people buried their dead this afternoon in a spirit of defiance. Sharpeville may have captured the headlines, but most of the people were killed here at Everton, and the mourners had travelled from all over the province to join the march to the graveyard 2 miles away. Burnt-out buildings were a reminder of the riots that residents say left more than 50 people dead. At one stage, dozens of private cars were hijacked to get people to the graveyard. And the presence of police on this, the most sensitive of days, did little to lessen tension in the area. Over 8,000 people had gathered at the graveside in a mood of bitterness not seen since the 1976 riots. Widespread clashes between mourners and police at the graveside were avoided. But on our way out of the area, we were there as police attacked people aboard a bus leaving the funeral. What prompted this police reaction isn't known, but scenes like these are typical of an increasingly heavy-handed response by riot police as the unrest enters its 3rd week. Several people were badly injured in this one incident alone. And as scenes like this become more commonplace, black community leaders are warning that South Africa's wave of political unrest is going to get worse before it gets better. Peter Sharp, ITN in Everton.
At home, the Coal Board chairman, Mr Ian McGregor, told the miners' leader, Mr Scargill, tonight that the talking on the pit dispute was over until the union put an end to pithead violence. Mr McGregor said demonstrators had proved they could be well behaved at the TUC in Brighton, and he believed it had shown the union had the power to control them. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr Robert Runcie, has also condemned violence on the picket line. In a democratic society, he said, such desperate action cannot be justified. Energy Secretary Mr Peter Walker said today it was now the TUC's duty to end the strike. But in Yorkshire, Mr Scargill accused the government of preventing a settlement.
Speaking of pit violence in the communities it's divided, the Archbishop travelled to one Derbyshire village to see the problems.
Obviously, the violence is having a terrible effect in terms of human relations on communities where I believe criminality has been alien to their whole tradition.
Today's 3-hour visit provided Dr Runcie with only a snapshot of Derbyshire's troubles. First, he visited striking families on the streets and in their homes. Only a tenth of the county's 10,500 pitmen are working. Those miners he met behind closed doors at Creswell Colliery before his final say on the violence that has seen 900 arrests in Derbyshire.
I still